It happened. Grain mites. I came in this morning and immediately saw him. There was a bundle of them in the soldier fly larva frass. And so I don't have any videos of that. Honestly, my initial reaction was to panic. And so I immediately backed out and started trying to find where they were. And what I ended up finding is that they were, so the initial source was right there. There was a bucket, and then on top of that bucket was a black cement mixing tray with soldier fly larva frass, and just bundles of them climbing all over themselves right there. So I immediately grabbed the split pea flower and sectioned things off. So you can see I've got split pea flower running along the cracks, breaking up pieces of the room. Basically containment. And what I found is that they were here on a couple containers. There were a few of them on the bottom two of these stacks. So I removed the top portion and then sectioned that off. You can see the split pea flower behind. And then I did find some on the wheels of this. So this entire thing is now quarantined basically. And the stuff that's on there is going to be left there until everything is dead. I removed moisture sources, as many as I could find. There really weren't a lot. I think there were a couple random pieces of water gel crystal on the ground. And then as I was moving the water gel crystal container, it fell, which is exactly what I didn't want to happen, especially today. So a little bit spilled out, so that's what that is. And I'm using this as an opportunity to do a little testing, but I'll review that in a moment. But basically everything got quarantined and sectioned off. So nothing spread from outside the green areas that you see that are coated now. So I did have to grind up some more split pea flour. And then what I did is within the areas that I had sectioned off, like this whole area, I just blanketed. Same thing with this area here. They hadn't gotten out. I think they were right around in this area, here and here. And so that's where they were basically drawn to dark places and moisture, or closed in spaces. It was dark in the whole room when I came in. But yeah, when I say I throw it literally on the ground as part of remediation for green mites, I'm serious. I throw it everywhere. It's not something to mess with. Those bottom trays over there got some inside with the mealworms. It doesn't hurt the mealworms. And then I decided with some of the water gel crystal that had gotten the split pea flour on it, I put a bunch of that over here just to see if the mites will be drawn to the moisture over here that has the split pea flour, and go after it. And then on this end, I just kind of cleared out a space and put just straight water gel crystal just to see, you know, like maybe that's an attractant, they'll come to that. I have lowered humidity. It's set down to 50%, but I need to get a dehumidifier in here and get it even lower. And then I'm going to have to hydrate the trays manually a little bit heavier and less abundance of moisture, so that they'll eat through it faster, just to keep things low, but make sure they get taken care of. Same thing with the beetles. Luckily, nothing got outside of like this center part. Nothing in the grow tent, nothing in the beetles, nothing in the packaging area. Everything's clean and clear except for this center area. So it was a long morning. This can happen to anybody. So when it happens to you, don't feel bad. Try not to panic. That's what I tell people when they reach out to me and say, oh my gosh, I have grain mites. I tried to follow my own advice. Took some deep breaths. I actually tried this thing I heard on a Huberman podcast where you take in a really, really deep breath, fill your lungs as much as you can, and then take another short, really hard, a little bit harder than that intake. And that had an immediate effect. And then I was able to get down to business and start walking through this step by step to get this taken care of. I'm going to monitor, make sure the trays are okay, make sure everything that goes out is okay, and we go from there. It looks like this came from the soldier flies, because it was in the biggest bundle was inside of the soldier fly larva frass, and so that looked like the origination point, and then they had just kind of started moving and migrating out from there, and luckily they had not spread from the center part of this room. So I'm probably going to leave the split pea flower down for several days. Just make sure that that has time to do what it needs to do. Monitor the water gel crystal testing over there. Remove, like, what I'm thinking is that if they are drawn to that moisture, like one of the things people do is they'll put a small cup of water inside of their trays, and the mites are drawn to that. Similar idea here. If they're drawn to those water gel crystals, I'll remove them, put some fresh ones down, and just continue this process. Check all the trays every day, see where things are at, make sure humidity is low. I'm going to keep it between 30 and 40% while still having to hydrate the colony. So it's going to be long. Next 2 weeks is probably how long this is going to have to happen, just to see how things shape up.